Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Hope you're good, hope you've had a good Christmas, and if you are new to this YouTube channel, please do subscribe, hit the bell button, like, and leave a comment. Hope you are good. Now, check out our free courses. We have a number of free bits and pieces. We also have some new stuff going onto our YouTube channel, which obviously you're watching today, but there will be a crash course. Hopefully in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we'll have all 10 videos done, and then it'll be a nice little A to Z sort of style in terms of how to get involved in the space, how to invest correctly. Yeah, all the good stuff that you need as a basic beginner standard. So another thing as well, before you jump away from this and into some analysis, obviously the title's going to grab you today due to dominance, but check out our Twitter as well. We do post some daily little snippets from our premium every single day on there, so you can keep in the know. So news first, obviously BlackRock are a behemoth essentially in investment and asset management, pensions, all kinds of stuff like that. And if you've never heard of them, you should really check them out. And ultimately, they are seeking a VP blockchain lead to drive demand for cryptocurrency offerings. So that's very, very bullish. And as mentioned, huge assets under management currently, 6.84 trillion is a lot. And ultimately, that is going to be interest of, you know, their people, their investors, their management, for everything, right? So it kind of makes sense that this is a good bit of news that they are looking at blockchain. So that is a good starting point overall. And in my opinion, very, very good. And in terms of some bearish news, because obviously why not? Bitstamp over the weekend actually halted some trading on XRP, and there's rumours that there's going to be other US-based exchanges to follow. So obviously not to FUD the project, not to FUD the elements, but ultimately the elements of this is simple. There is a lawsuit by the SEC, whether it's legit or not, or if it's just people, you know, trying to make waves before they leave office, which has obviously happened, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. So do not be surprised if the likes of Coinbase follow suit. Obviously, if one follows, the others tend to go with it. So just be very, very mindful of that information. Now, let's talk about Bitcoin dominance before we begin, because this is probably the most important chart you're ever going to see ever. Now, if you start peeling away the mat of this, now I've kind of made this a little bit more obvious so you can see it now. Obviously dominant seasons and stuff like that, you can probably see it just about. It's a bit of a mess, I know, but the previous parabolic move in 2017, which is mental, I know, but all these little green boxes that I put on these just show you how cataclysmically bullish Bitcoin has been throughout these cycles. And when we move to the current day, it's very, very important to kind of get the fact that we're very, very high right now. Yes, we are obviously weekly levels, you can see it more obvious, but this was the last altcoin rally, which was in May to like July time, and then it kind of fizzled out around August, September time, where it bottomed out and then turned around. Obviously, this is where Bitcoin retested 10k and went boom, bang, right up to the moon, and we've rejected this top level, which you could argue is somewhat interesting. The fact that it's interesting because this wick here, it hasn't actually crossed above this top level wick here, as you can see, just about. Well, I've kind of messed up the trend line here, bear with me. Let me just make sure this is legitimate. There we go. So you can see it is kind of pointing downwards. So it hasn't made a new high, which actually this is the highest it's ever been since like 2016 levels. So we've been high, 72.8 or 72.18, sorry. There we go. So it's been high, and we've turned around a little bit. So when we start looking at the 3-day chart, you can see how it just pulled right back. So if this keeps going down, just to give you a bit of a pointer before you start getting really excited, this would indicate alt season. So if this is a continuation of the trend going downwards and we do get a retracement, happy days. Now, the one thing to kind of look at is obviously this kind of did pull back, and it did pull back into a certain key level, and it went up to this level. So, you know, if you are trading this sort of thing, which people do trade, by the way, because it is sentiment based, you can get a gauge of it. And ultimately, I trend management it. So in terms of my outlook on it, I look at the trend. So I look for obviously EMA crossovers, momentum, higher lows, lower highs, all kinds of, you know the drill, right? And that gives me a gauge of knowing when to be in what. If this starts trending downwards and continues going down, and we do get a retest of this 56, I'm in altcoins regardless of this, I'm in altcoins anyways. Because this is high, I'm in altcoins. If this starts going low, I'll start moving my position out of altcoins into Bitcoin for the rally back up again. That's usually how it works. So topside analysis to this is simple. We should be in altcoins at these highs. Simple as that. So alt season should be around the corner very, very soon. And we're starting to get a reaction from this little dip now anyways. Because you're looking at the right hand side and it's gone green. What would you like to know? Well, that's it. The simple elements of that. Now, let's talk about some big hitters over the previous week. We've obviously had an all-time high in Bitcoin. I've not looked at this chart for a while. The last time you've probably seen this chart was this. I've not really looked at my analysis since. Now look at the daily time frame. Boom. We have printed an all-time high at 28,400, which is absolutely immense. Let's be honest. Let's just talk about that. Let's just give that like a little round of applause to say that that is the new all-time high. All-time high, as you can see. So with all this in mind, we've got to be very, very careful. What happens next? We don't really have much in terms of support other than what's down here. 24,200 wouldn't be a bad place to be. Ultimately, that EMA roughly around 25k. This EMA roughly around 23.9. So, you know, yeah, see what happens, but we needed to range, we needed to chill out, we needed to either gradually dribble down, gradually, not like boom. We want it to be nice and slow so alt seasons can rally because that dominance is very high. If this keeps going up, well, guess what? That dominance is going to keep going up. It's going to delay things. So we need to be very, very careful. But we don't have much data. We have this level here and basically what we've got right now. It's a bit rubbish, really. So in terms of higher time frames, it's not looking good. But you know, we need this kind of PA. We need this price action to kind of stay steady. But we'll wait and see what happens. It's very, very early to kind of say. But congratulations, Bitcoin. You are the absolute undisputed king right now. Moving on to Ethereum. Now, this one was the last time I looked at my chart, and this was it. And I've honestly not looked at this chart for a long time, and this is where we've hit the target. We've hit the first target finally. Finally. Dear me. And this chart, if you've been watching the premium videos, you've been watching for a while, this chart has been on my time frame for a long time. There's another level higher as well, around $800 level. There you go. So what is this? What is this chart analysis? So this chart analysis is essentially, let me just find it because it is a part of a Fibonacci sequence. I think it's from this low to this to this level here, and it pulled back into like the additional part of the Fibonacci sequence, the 22% level, which if I put it onto this Fibonacci, bear with me, you'll be able to see it. The reason why I don't tend to use it is because I just don't. It clutters everything up. And as you can see here, it went right into this level and then it kind of just stopped and turned around just around where these EMAs are, and then it popped. Off it went on these higher time frames. Now when I go to the daily time frame, you can see it in more detail. So what we're looking at here is this is the top, this is a retracement into this range, and then off we went. But we went for a double tap. It double tapped it and then found that level and then off it went. But with the confluence of all this, it's actually this level as well. So if you're looking for the impulse wave, it hit this 618 level to a T and then off it went. And you could probably argue we may even top out this daily range, 766. So it has multiple confluences between other levels, weekly time frame, daily time frame, and that is kind of very, very important. Now I don't tend to use that Fibonacci that often. I just don't really bother with it that much. But ultimately, you know, if you were looking at the daily impulses, absolutely savage move onto that range and then off it went. Pivot point, bang, send it. You know, it was absolutely crazy. So perfect little lines of symmetry there. And yeah, a bit gutted that I've missed this one. I do hold a little bit of Ethereum, not much, but ultimately the longs are paying off. That Ethereum is going to get used for investments into altcoins when that dominance starts to really turn around. So that's where it's going to get interesting. So for me, maybe we might see this level here, this top extension level, 838. So keep an eye on that level if we break through this level. But the trend is strong. I was telling people do not short Ethereum because the trend is still bullish. People were ignoring me and shorting it, but yeah, you live and learn. Moving on to, obviously, the dominance chart of Bitcoin. Now, I want to talk about this as well. Now, this is kind of like, obviously, of interest. Now, I've put this massive big box here. The reason why I put this box here is because this is a pivotal point of the life cycle of Ethereum with the dominance chart. As you can see, this has been a monster level for a while, as you can see. And this is where alt season will really pay off. If this does start going and sends it up to this level, and we start seeing Ethereum really rise, we're going to get some massively good, bullish Bitcoin dominance action, i.e. it's going to melt, it's going to go down, because this is going to go up. So keep an eye on that chart. This could be the one that breaks monumentally high. So if this has held, we may get sent. If this gets sent and it goes with these levels, for example, oh wow. Yeah, alt season has truly happened and things have gone absolutely parabolic turbo. Moving on to some altcoins, what should we talk about? Let's look at Zilliqa. Why not? Now, Zilliqa, I do apologize for my lack of data on this chart. I'm not going to change it just yet. I will change it eventually. But I just want to show you the monumental growth of this. This is absolutely savage. And it's still going, still growing. It's like 8.5 cents now. And the recommendation was to buy this in May. I bought it in May. I put it in premium. That I bought a small bag. I put my first transaction in there, and I bought 5 to 6 times within that month period, just gradually just adding to the bag. I failed in terms of the amount that I wanted because it grew that quickly over the period of this like alt season. Like when you look at it, with the speed that it grew, I actually lost out a little bit on like my total accumulation bag that I wanted. I bought a little bit more in and around these regions as well, not too deep, but I had a good bag anyway. I was really happy with it. Obviously hindsight is a beautiful thing, and I did want more, and I did want a lot more. But this has been a monumental, huge move, and I put it on my Twitter account, on the Crypto Mobster account, that we got a huge swing going up to this level. Yeah, we did. We went bang, bang, bang. Whew, fuck off we go, son. And we flew to the moon, and we actually topped out at, I think it was, yeah, just below 10 cents, which is absolutely savage, really. And I do think long term it's going to go much higher because of the technology, due to the speed, due to the sharding, due to the interest now. And it's currently like ranked 30 on CoinMarketCap, so it's got a lot of eyeballs and it's doing very, very well. When you look at the BTC chart as well, it's just been aggressive, very, very aggressive. And you can see, like, I was buying in May and it made a nice little level up here. Obviously it retraced, but it's fully just turned around and off. It's gone and it's created a new high. So this is huge. This is massive. I've found support around this region as well, around 288. This morning even. So huge move. So if you're a Zilliqa fan and you're staking it, nice work, because you're going to be making some serious money. Another one to talk about as well is obviously Polkadot. Now Polkadot, I've left my chart analysis on here. As you can see here, we've been testing this 618 level so many times. So you can see the top, 1, 2, 3. Are we finally going to go and break above this level? And we are looking likely at the moment, but it's still an open candle, so just be careful. But yeah, for me, Polkadot is king. I think in the future, Polkadot is going to make a very, very big gain because of the technology, due to the parachains coming out, due to all the ecosystem elements that's going to be brought out. It's going to allow that token function to be really, really powerful versus the likes of Ethereum. So it's very, very exciting to see that it's still low. I do think it's very, very undervalued. I know some people disagree with me and say that, well, actually, no, it's still high, but I don't think it is. I think when you compare it to the likes of the market cap of Ethereum versus DOT, I think it's monster. It's a monster sitting there just waiting to go. So just keep an eye on it. Definitely keep an eye on it. And we'll finish finally on an obvious coin because I want to give it some little sunlight because I think this is doing very well as well. As you can see here, again, I've not touched my chart since before Christmas. And this is kind of just done exactly what I wanted it to do as well without looking at it. And you can see here this extension. So if I can try and backtrack on terms of what I've got here, let me just make sure I can get this right. Because what we had here, we had this monumental push from this low to high. We retraced into the 50%, literally where this previous level was. And we got sent, boom, right up to this extension. There's an actual other extension up here as well, 158. This is savage, but one thing I want to look at as well is look at the weekly levels where this level is as well. Now what we've got here, and I'll put it on, as you can see, just to show you, this was the level, as you can see. So from this low, as you can see, it's a bit, not quite level up, There we go, that's better. As you can see, we went up, we've found a level, we've retraced into like a numerous number of regions, so pretty much 50% nearly, 382, and then we got sent. Boom. Huge levels, and that's like just in one hit. Absolutely savage. And when you look at all these levels, kind of do map up a little bit. So a nice little round of applause, I think, for obviously Litecoin. The reason being is because it follows Bitcoin. It follows Bitcoin very, very well. And if Bitcoin is bullish, usually Litecoin is the sister in disguise, and it tends to go with it. And look at how parabolic these moves are. They're not small moves, by the way. If you're looking at the daily time frame and you're looking at these big aggressive spikes up over a period of a few days, they're monster moves, like 78%. Been a great asset to kind of look at as an investment, as a trade. If you've been missing it, you know, realistically, you should always back Litecoin when Bitcoin moves. So there we go. Hope you have a good day. Again, please do like, subscribe to the channel. This video is going out premium straight away, and then for everyone else, you can view it for public. So there you go. See you again very, very soon.